Speaks, el Maestro Speaks podcast.
And we are we? Put away. We're recording, and at the same time, we are live. Where this? Let me just see. Okay. I guess we are live, right? Are we live? Let me just check. So, we are live doing checking. Let's just see if this works. So how are you guys? Another episode of El Maestro Speaks podcast. Number 227. Okay. Now since we're doing this live in TikTok, just wanna check. Just wanna check if it's live in TikTok, you know? You never know. You'll never know, as they say. Um, this technology, this actually, this platform is not for me. It's not for me. I don't know, but yeah, I think it is tailored for younger generation. You know, but uh, let's just check. Mm-hmm. Let's just check. There you go. We're good. We're good. So, once again, here's El Maestro Speaks podcast coming to you. And yeah, keep me in the background while you're doing your job, listening. Listen to it in Spotify or other podcast platform. I'll just be here talking, and talking while drinking coffee. You know. Yep. So no guest will be having conversation with you guys. Yeah. And maybe we'll have some, I don't know, if there are some interactions that will be coming from the live stream. It's I'm trying to embrace IRL, you know, but I won't be, maybe I won't be doing it all the time, especially with the conversations. I'll be doing those ones uh, in recording mode. But of course, you will know, guys, you know that that is a raw conversation, no editing at all. So, yep, yeah. In this solo episode, we will be talking about what happened this past week. A lot has happened. Yeah, just want to say hi to this people leaving likes on the TikTok platform. You know, cannot see the screen. Anyway, hi guys. Hi to you people. Yeah, anyway. So a lot has happened this past week. We've seen, especially here in the Philippines. Mm, did you know that ever since we started the school year 2026 to 2027, there's like more than two shooting incidents, and at least I think there are three, um, almost okay, three attempt of shooting in schools nationwide here in the Philippines. The worst one, I guess, was that in Tacloban by the two young guys. And just recently, we have um, the one that happened in the Ateneo de Zamboanga, and it's so young, man. It's so young. Just oh, grade 7 student, and he's a bright student, honors student. You'd really ask yourself questions like, what happened? What is the reason why these kids nowadays would do that. Back in our day, the only school shooting incidents we heard was on the other side of the globe. That was in America. Now you would say, well, it happens. It's America. Guns are like buy guns. From what I heard, you can buy guns there from like anywhere, right? Of course, there are maybe um phases of testings that you will undergo before you will buy the gun, but it's not as strict as the one that we have here in the Philippines. So yeah, you're wondering right now what is happening here. What is happening in our country? Why do we have incidents like this? It's pretty scary. As you know, my job as a as a teacher, it's pretty scary for us to go to school and thinking that from any time there might be someone. We cannot please everyone throughout their career. Someone else there might have grudge against us. So as a teacher, there's really that fear inside you. And what if that thing happens? Because of the coverage, the media coverage that this incident is getting, for sure there will be replications of this. It's going to happen. There is, for sure, a replication. Someone who is not in the right mind, kid who is not in the right mind, who would think that, oh, I think this is the solution that I can do. So whatever pain or problem is feeling will be cured or will be solved. If that's the solution that we'll see, for sure there's gonna be a replication of what happened this past week. Yeah, praying that that won't happen again, and it will be prevented if ever. But guys, yeah, it's still a scary situation. Uh, you know, yeah. And just thinking about it, it makes me worried. I have two kids, and that's the first thing that comes to my mind always if I hear these types of news. Anyway, shout out, sir. Who is this? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I cannot read your name, but whoever you are, I read your comment here in TikTok. uh, yep. Welcome to this episode of this podcast that we have. Oi, Moon. Moon. Sleep. It's time to sleep, I guess. Anyway, so we're talking about the shooting incident that happened, and it's so insulting to see some politicians riding this, taking a pounds on this situation just to further whatever agendas they have, you know. Um, the first thing that came to my mind when I saw these people, okay, making a very quick statement, just political statement. No matter how you look at it, it is political in nature. The first thing that came to my mind is that, oh my goodness, how I wish that Miss Cara David will wish about them on her next birthday. Yeah, that's just the first thing that came to my mind, because a situation like this, you should not turn it into political issue. You should. I think that this is the time when the country should come together and sort this problem out, right? Yeah, even the Philippine president's spokesperson um giving a statement like that. So for those who didn't know, the the political the press officer of the Philippine president gave his statement right just like hours after the shooting in Ateneo de Zamboanga, and she said that I'm paraphrasing here, but this is how I understood it, and yeah, and pointing this is how I understand it. This is how it looks like. So which she said that this is sometimes some of the reason over this one incident is because of the teachers, because sometimes the teachers are the ones teaching the kids to be undisciplined, to be just to be criminal, to be walang modo. That's how he said it. That's how I understood it. That's how she said it. So, of course, that draw a lot of criticism from the from the teaching field, from the people. But there's a post that I just saw a while ago saying that a lot of teachers lack reading comprehension. I don't understand why would someone say that. Maybe when Professor Clarita Carlos posted something about the teacher, I understood it. I read it and understood it. So I would like to think that yeah, I have a pretty high reading comprehension. The problem with the statement of the press officer is that that's the first statement that was given right after the incident, putting a spotlight on the teachers as if we should blame the teachers for this. That is indirectly saying that you should blame the teacher for what happened. You know, and yeah, no matter how you look at it, that is the gist of the statement. Why would you highlight? Why would you put the teachers in a spotlight for that incident? Like they're the reason, the sole reason for that. Yeah, that's a problem with that statement. And like I said, I made a tidbits about this. Nandito pa ba si Moon? Matulog ka na ha. Oh, I made a very short statement about this. If you are the press officer of the president, what would you have said? Yeah, first and foremost, I would say I would be giving our heartfelt condolences to those families of the victims. And I would say that all of us have shared responsibility in sorting this problem out. Yeah, this is a problem, apparently. There's this problem now here in our country, and we have to address this as a whole. We cannot address this. We are divided. We should address this as a whole country. Okay? We always use, and it's already a cliche, we always say it takes a village to raise a child. This is where we can apply that. Something is wrong here. And we need to figure it out as a country. Do not put one sector under the bus. And to think that that is the official statement of the highest position of the highest position of the land. That's a little bit embarrassing. And actually, it only shows something that, yeah, uh, teachers are only respected during the month of October. It's because that's the teachers month, right? World Teachers Day. That's the only time they are respected, but most of the time they're often overlooked, ridiculed, and sometimes disrespected. I don't know why. I don't know why. But it only shows with this kind of statements coming from offices like that. Well, it only shows that. This topic is supposed to be discussed on my other podcast, Teachers Pod, but since yeah, it's it is connected to what happened this past week, and that's what we're talking about today. So yeah, got no choice but talk about it. I often shy away from talking about my day job, my job here in this podcast, because I want this to be, you know, the podcast where I talk about anything, talk about my shenanigans and shits and everything. Like, but yeah, at times I often, yeah, it overlaps. There's an overlap of the topic. Anyways, hi to those people watching. Thank you so much. Yep. I cannot read your name. My screen's too far, and the comment box was too minimized. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Those who are watching in the live. This is a recording of the episode of El Maestro Speaks number 227. Yeah. Again, like what I said, yeah, that only highlights that, yeah, the teaching community is often overlooked and was only respected during the month and during Teachers' Day. Yeah, we cannot do anything about that. Maybe, yeah, they will only say teaching is the noblest profession, like that. And yeah, times even in the Department of Teaching, they will say to celebrate the Teachers' Day, the teachers are now tasked to prepare a program for Teachers' Day. Yeah, you have that. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, let's not talk about that. Going far. Anyway, so yep, that highlights that, and it only also shows where is the interest of the office giving that statement. It it shows it shows just being tactless, being careless, and I don't know. Are you really willing to solve this problem? What's happening right now? That's it. It's a question that begs an answer. Okay, because suddenly some of these politicians will come out and just say, "This is happening because of this law that was like that and like this. That's why shooting." Dude, you know, if you go through the process of acquiring a gun here in the Philippines, it's very strict. Okay? And there's one um, that got, maybe you can call this a collateral damage of the incident. There was this little girl, a young girl, who does practical shooting sports. Now, mind you, people, shooting is a sport. Okay? Let's say that again. There is a sport that involves shooting a gun. We call it practical shooting, and kids can join, and they can only hold the gun right there at the shooting range. They're not allowed to carry guns outside. Excuse me for a while. Something's wrong. There you go. Okay, they're not allowed to carry guns outside, but they can use guns in the playing area. So we have that. Okay. Now, there's this girl who is posting his videos doing this sport and was bashed by ignorant, stupid people saying that, okay, here's the next shooter. He's gonna be shooting her classmates and leaving comments like that. That's just uncalled for, and that's just stupid. You know, that's why I always tell my students to, please, before you post your comment, it's very easy to Google things out. There's AI right now. You can just ask AI, right? So, yep. The girl got bashed. Yeah, and to think that I think she is already competing internationally. So she is representing our country in that kind of sports. Yet she got bashed because of what happened in Ateneo de Zamboanga. You know? Yeah. What can we do? And what can we do then? Yes. Like what I said a while ago, we're talking about we should work together as a whole community, as a country, to solve this thing out. We should work hand in hand to sort this out. Now, there are some issues coming out, and I've been posting this on my Facebook. And this is my way of, helping solve this problem. Because these kids who did the crime, the two guys in Tacloban, this kid just shot someone and then killed himself. I would say these guys needed help. They just don't know how to get it. And maybe at times these kids were indoctrinated. They were indoctrinated. And how? And this is for sure for those or parents who are listening out there, especially parents abroad, okay? Because I get some traffics in some of the other countries, and I would guess those are from our fellow immigrants working abroad. Hey, how are your childs being indoctrinated if they are just inside your house? They go to school, they go to your house, that's it. They don't go anywhere. Well, don't forget, they have their phones. They have their phones. In my past episode, I talk about crimes becoming digital. Those analog crimes are becoming digital. Stealing has gone digital. Yep, also with crimes. Okay, we often talk about influencers, and there's a lot in social media, TikTok, YouTube. Okay, influencers, they're called influencers for a reason. They do things and influence other people, right? Same is true with crimes. There are people that would like to influence people online to do crimes. So most probably that's what happened to these kids here. So the post I did on Facebook a while ago was check your kid's phone. Check your kid's phone. Sean Ryan said, one podcaster, fellow podcaster, more popular than me, he said that if you give a phone to a kid, you're not giving the world to your kid, you're giving your kid to the world. And that is true. Okay? People can go out right now, can go to other places, staying at home because of their phone. We can shop using our phones, playing using our phones. So, check your kids' phone. That's how they get influenced. So, my question there will be, so are you saying that violent games will make our children or will make a child kill someone? Nope. Nope, that's too far. Too far. I am a gamer myself. I played a lot of violent games ever since I was a young kid up until now. And no, that does not it does not make a child be violent. All right? Okay. So the next question will be, then why are you saying that Roblox is not good? Okay. Roblox can be a good game, but this is what happened. Okay. What we're saying is that some of these criminals, online criminals, use these games to brainwash our children. Okay? So what's happening is that I don't know why. I don't know what's with Roblox, never played it. But I think there are some part of it that users can create games in it. And in each of these games, online games, there's an interaction. Through that interaction is the way for that criminal to influence your child. There's a lot of podcasts wherein there are some ethical hackers who have exposed how these pedophiles are baiting children in Roblox, victimizing them. Okay? So it starts with they start becoming friendly with these people, with these children. And then after that, inviting them to join some forum. That is how Roblox is being used. It's not that you play Roblox, you become like that, you're gonna go out and shooting people. No. Okay. Roblox was the door that was used, the communication that was used so they can victimize our children. So if our government's not going to do something about this, it's up to us parents to do something about it. Yep. So I would really agree with the proposal that children below 16 years old should never have the social media account. Yeah. Ada ka tipay lang moon. Yeah, I was telling you that when you were in grade 6, right? They should never have. They should never have a social media account. But the thing is, it's very easy to, when you register, it's very easy to fake your age, right? So there's the problem there. But then again, that's the role of the parents. Role of the parent to check on their kids' phone. Again. Okay. So what are the dangers lurking online if we let our children use phones? There's a lot. All right. So if you let them use their phones, there are some predators out there. And take note, our kids are gullible. Okay? They're young. They cannot determine who is telling the truth. And of course, it's online. It's very difficult for you to tell. Once the criminal got your child's trust, they can make them do a lot of things. Now, this is very gory, but I'm going to discuss this anyway, just to just to give some perspective and just to show you how dangerous online community is sometimes if we don't supervise our children. So what are the things that can happen online? First is, of course, sexual exploitations. Okay? Especially if your child is an adolescent. Okay? Predators can initiate chat in games. That's what's happening in Roblox. Okay? And after gaining their trust, because children don't understand their feelings, after gaining their trust, the predator will now ask the child to do something. Take a picture of it, and then send it to them. Okay? And after that, they will use those pictures to exploit, to blackmail people, students, these children. Okay? Blackmail them. You have to do this, or else I'll send this to your parents, things like that. Okay? So the child now is left no choice but to obey. All right? So again, check your kid's phone. You have all the right to check their phone. Okay? If the kid won't allow you to see his phone, most probably is or she is hiding something. And the more that you have to check it. Okay? Once obtains these photos and videos, they will force the kid to produce more. Or maybe, do more. And to meet with them. That's how rape is happening. Okay? The National Center for Missing Exploited Children reported 125% rise in sadistic online exploitations cases in 2025. That is just, I guess, I'm hoping this is, I don't know if this is worldwide data or this is just in the United States, but yeah, 125% rise. Often starting in gaming platforms like Roblox and Minecraft. So if it is possible, you have to delete them. Yeah, the problem with Roblox is that these things were exposed actually. What they did, this Roblox, I don't know, the owner of Roblox is they banned those people who exposed the criminal activity in their platform. They banned their account. Instead of cleaning their account, they banned those who exposed it. So what would that mean? That means they would like to allow this thing to happen in their platform because they're making money out of it. Okay. So this is, it's better for you if you're a parent out there listening, delete that guy. Radicalization. Okay. So they will befriend your child through these games. They will try to talk to them and radicalize them, and ask them to do things like do violent things like the shooting in Tacloban, allegedly was radicalized. The shooters was radicalized via the violent sandbox game, Gorebox, and extremist networks. That's what happened, accordingly, allegedly. But that is possible. They can do that. They can do that online. Again, let's be wary. Check your kid's phone. All right? Okay. Groomers often move children from games to encrypted apps. Yep. So they'll what happens is that they'll meet in that game, right? They will meet in that game, and then they will take contacts and meet in an encrypted chat group, and that's where radicalization starts. You know, and at times there are times that they tell children to do self harm. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was the case years ago. Um, yeah, they would ask some kid to commit suicide in cases like that, and that happened. At least there are some confirmed cases in America, you know, and I have some suspicions of that happening here in our country before. Back when I was working in another district, I I experienced those. Just uh, more than three three students killing themselves, just weeks after the others did, and yeah, it's gory, it's scary. Yep. So check your kid's phone. Okay. So how are these criminals? How will they? How will they? What they call that one? What do they do? What are their tactics? So for sexual grooming, they chat, request for photo, and then after that, blackmail. Right? Of course, the impact for the kids is trauma, and it will also lead to self harm. Who's this? Sir Maturog Parbangonon. Yeah, and I guess this is one of my students again. Yep. And for radicalization, of course, there's that violent games. After that, sharing of extremist ideology through the encrypted chats. Yep. It's very easy. Like I said, children are gullible. They will take whatever, especially if they look up to you. Look up to you. They will believe whatever you say. Okay, and that would lead to real world violence, shooting, things like that. Okay, financial scams. Okay, yeah, the child will be scammed, maybe, or his or her parents' accounts will be scammed. Okay, and cyberbullying. So these are the dangers that your children can encounter if they stay online without your supervision. I'm not saying that children should not play this and play that. No. But then again, if you are going to give your child a phone, okay, you are like giving her power, the power to connect to the world, and she doesn't know how to use that. She's just a child, and you, as a parent, should be there to guard her or him. Okay, you should be the filter. You cannot put a filtering app. You should also. It's not enough to just put filtering app there. You should also filter it yourself. If possible, know the lingos or the language of these kids nowadays. There are, and this makes me laugh sometimes because it tells me that I'm so old. There are emoticons or emojis that children use nowadays that is talking about sex. I didn't even know that until I am doing my research on this thing. I Yeah, it makes me laugh because it would really tell you that, oh, really, that thing means like this and that thing means like that. Oh my God, I'm so old. Yep, you have to know those. Again, use this technology in our advantage. Know the lingos or the language of these kids nowadays so we can know what they're talking online. Okay, if possible, know who they're communicating with, right? And limit the circle if possible. Just they should just communicate with the people they know, not people somewhere, not not person in another country, because that is very dangerous. You should only communicate. Okay? They should only chat with the people they know at school, the people they actually faced or talked to face. Yeah, that's how we can stop this. It's very dangerous. Once our kid was radicalized, it's very difficult to take them back. It's very difficult to take them back. So yeah, and I think we should also treat this as, because if we don't allow our kids to drink beer until they're 18, smoke cigarettes until they're 18, we should not allow them to have phones too until they're 18. Yeah, if we do that, our job as a parent will be lighter. Am I right? Right? Yeah. Our job as a parent will be lighter. And at the same time, we will have time for them to teach, the most important skills that they need. Okay. Doing household chores, things like that. Okay. Limit their time online. Okay. If you give a child a phone, you're not giving the world to the child. You're giving your child to the world. Yeah, think about that. I guess that's the only topic I would like to share today, and that's the worst thing I saw that happened this past week. Aside from the continuous rain that's happening here in our locality in Baguio City, hope everyone is safe. Never had like whenever the face to face class for like 15 days. Imagine that. Yeah, of course we have classes to, yeah, giving them activities, but you know it's different when we do the face-to-face class. So yep, again, check your kid's phone. Those are the things that I can share that happened this past week. So thank you so much for watching. For those who watched in TikTok live, and for those who are listening in Spotify, Apple Podcast, thank you so much for listening, and see you next time. See you next time.